Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland, episode 128. Bringing in the new year, Ted. Congratulations. 2024. First question. Did you think you'd make it to 2024?
This is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting. I remember when I thought that the year 2000 was a long way away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting is, you and I are past that 40 age, and we're obviously a little bit past 50. I'm closing in on 50, and it's the same routine. We've talked about this before. When you're involved with as many things as we're involved with, and you have kids, every day flies by.
Yep.
24 hours seems like 10 minutes.
Pretty much.
It's pretty crazy. Well, before we go into Christmas and New Year's and all that fun stuff, I have to do this off the top or I'll get yelled at by many of our listeners. It's time for the Jersey game, Ted, your favorite game.
Yeah.
Number 28.
Herman Fontenot.
Boom. Herman Fontenot. And a Pro Bowler for this year.
J.O.K. J.O.K.
J.O.K. We won't try to say his name. We'll butcher it just like many other folks have, including Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
James Brooks also played for the Browns. You remember him? The guy, a very good running back for
Bengals
Cincinnati.
running back, right?
Yeah. Everson Walls.
Oh, wow.
The old Lee Bodden. Remember Lee?
Very vaguely.
And if your name is Davis, Ben Davis is probably the most successful number 28 we had. But then we also had James Davis, who played in 09 and 010. And I know you're counting down and writing down all the stats from James Davis.
I'm getting my James Davis jersey after the show.
Oh, I thought you were already actually wearing it, but that's okay. Thank you.
Yes.
The Cavaliers is going to be really tough. I don't think you're going to get these. It's three guys. Tony Dumas. You got to watch the way you say that.
Who?
Exactly. Played in 98. Dwayne Jones. Yep. Appreciate the answer. Mfandu Kabengele.
I'm sorry?
2021. Mfandu Kabengele.
Hold on. Let me get that. I have some of that on my shirt here.
Yeah, it's Shot will take it out.
Okay.
How about your tribe, Guardians? You got to get, I think you'll get a couple of these.
Mark Wiley?
No.
No? What number was he? I know he was.
Well, he wasn't 28. I wrote down all the good 28s. He wasn't one of them.
Well, you wrote down the good 28s. I said Mark Wiley.
I heard what you said. He's not 28. I didn't see his name on the list.
28. Corey Snyder.
Yes.
Who's the guy who had is a brother? They were brothers.
He had a brother.
Yeah. They both played baseball in the big leagues.
You thinking about the Negroes?
No, much more recent.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know. Okay. Well,
all right. One guy's an announcer. Made one of the most famous catches in Cleveland Stadium.
That'd be the one and only Rick Manning.
Very well done. The other guy is a Hall of Famer. Played for a couple different teams.
What era?
Probably you're looking at 70s and 80s.
What number was Andre Thornton?
He was not 28.
28. Okay. I don't know.
Bert Blyleven.
Be home Blyleven.
You also have Ed Taubensee. I know you forgot about him. Joey Cora. Remember Joey Cora?
Yeah.
He had one stint with us. Also, Russell the Muscle Branyan. I know that was your favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Broussard.
Right-handed hitting. He was the Serrano of the team.
He was.
Yeah.
Curveball, not so good.
Right.
And Corey Kluber. How can we forget Corey Kluber?
Does he still have two arms?
He's, as far as I know, last year, I believe he was pitching for Boston.
Okay.
The previous year is the year that the Guardians went crazy and had that long playoff run where they lost to the Yankees, but they had that win over Tampa Bay, and Kluber's the one that gave up the run to SpongeBob SquarePants. So
Huh.
So Ted, there you go. You deserve it. You got your jersey numbers. I won't
Thank
get
you.
yelled at.
Thank you.
We'll continue from there.
How was
So
your, how was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. A lot of time with family. Got to see my sister and my two nephews from Seattle. They spent the week here. But outside of Riley, my son getting COVID, so that kind of took us down for a
Oh,
couple days. Everything was great. Christmas was fun. The New Year, I worked at Cool Beans, which was kind of fun, and then spent some time with the Forgosh clan and my brother and all that to bring in the new year. So it was very exciting. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, no drama. And as at our age, that's what we're looking for. How
there
about
you go.
yourself?
Oh, good Christmas. Uh, youngest kid came in at 5'11". I told him to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
He said, but I'm not tired. I said, go talk to your mother. He said, she told me to come and see you.
Well, if you don't get the answer from one person,
Right.
see if you can get it from someone else.
So at that point, I said, I'm going back to sleep. Here's my phone.
No, just
And,
give him your phone.
yeah, just give him the phone.
Hand it over. It's like
Slept
giving
for
away your
another-
wallet. Here, just take the phone. Take
Another
it.
couple hours. We've lost our living room. We have no room in the living room now.
Got it.
We
Understand.
Santa brought a carpet that's it's a hockey rink design.
Okay.
So our kids have found every empty box they could locate, and a few that aren't empty, for the walls around the rink.
That's fun.
And they have the little sticks and a little ball, and they play hockey.
I think it's awesome. Cool.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Got some Legos as well. That's been exciting as they're
For
building.
yourself or for the kids?
Oh, for the kids, but
I
it
like
might
this.
as well be for me.
Yep.
You got to hop in. And then on New Year's, the kids decided they were going to stay up because my wife made the mistake of letting them know that we had purchased sparkling grape juice to ring in the new year.
Nice.
So they stayed up, almost missed the ball drop, but we got it. And yeah,
So you made it past midnight.
I did. I don't know how I did.
Wow,
but,
that I was doing some betting on that, and
yeah.
our friend John Ryan make some bets on that for. There was no way. I took the under on that. There's no
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I lost.
Okay.
I lost. Okay.
By the
Congrats.
way, my son thought it was great when after the ball dropped, LL Cool J was singing.
I'm gonna knock you out.
And I said, I'm going to make him sound better. And my oldest son said, how are you going to do that? And I hit the mute button.
Come on, my guy is over 50, still rocking it, still doing it. LL.
I don't know any of the people. The LL Cool J was like the only one I knew. All these other people I didn't know. And then the poor woman that won the $1 million collapsed on the stage, and Ryan Seacrest, I thought, was going to have to give her chest massage or mouth to mouth or something.
Yeah, Ryan's not a very big dude, so
No.
yeah, he's not going to be able to help very much.
No.
Wow.
But that's what we got.
Well, and of course, more and exciting stuff. But I'm glad your New Year was well, as well as your Christmas. That's important.
Oh,
so the weather was well. Let's be honest. We have no reason to complain about that.
Nope.
Very mild.
Very mild.
Very mild.
Get
like my salsa.
We need to get our official meteorologist back on to.
Oh yeah, I actually have a meeting with him coming up soon, so he'll be. I think we're going to have the opportunity to have him on the next podcast. So.
Tell him we need to compare his forecast to the Farmer's Almanac.
Yep.
3-foot rodent, and he'll be right on.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get that done.
All
Mr.
right.
Sable will be back in action.
Well, coming up on this week's show, we have a cheesy record, a naked man in a retail store, a Christmas tree with a guest, an exploding toilet, and more. Handicapper John Ryan is here to talk some sports betting, and a new segment, Ken. What's on the DVR?
And now,
a woman's perspective.
What do you call a married man vacuuming? Doing what he's told.
This has been a woman's perspective.
Dad, we have some good news. A 13-year-old has become the first player ever, I repeat ever, to officially beat the original Nintendo version of the game Tetris.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Willis Gibson made it to what gamers call a kill screen. That's a point where the Tetris code glitches and crashes the game. That's a big deal in the world of video games. For a long time, players of Tetris thought the game was unbeatable. The makers of Tetris agree. They released a statement congratulating Gibson. Tetris celebrates its 40th, oh my gosh, its 40th birthday this year.
Yeah.
That's been around for 40 years.
How about that?
Oh my gosh.
So you celebrate when you break the game.
Yeah, it's broken. Doesn't work. Then you know you won. Good for Willis. Willis.
I heard that the makers of Tetris, the end of their statement, well, the beginning of their statement, when they first heard that this had happened, they said, "What you talk about, Willis?" It's time for a new segment on the show, Ken. I think we've outlined this before, but for those who may not recall, our family lives in the same house as my in-laws. And so with that comes the setup that we share a DVR with my in-laws.
Sure.
And some of the recordings that pop up on the DVR from time to time are head scratchers, jaw droppers, whatever. So we thought it would be fun to bring my wife on and have her scroll through and share with us some of the unique highlights. This segment is called What's on the DVR? Hi, Erica.
Hi.
Okay.
This is outstanding. You have no idea my excitement level right now. This is great. I am super excited to hear this because, in all honesty, Erica, sometimes I don't trust Ted. I think he's giving me a bunch of lines. It's nice to hear it right from the person that's in charge.
No, actually, our house is different.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Our house is different.
Our house is different.
Yep. All right. So the majority of these recordings are recorded by who, Erica?
My mother.
Your mother. Okay.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, Erica, tell me, what's on the DVR?
Well, I actually recorded today right after Rawhide.
Rawhide. Oh, that's awesome. That's a great show. I haven't seen that in a long time. That is a good show.
It's a good show. You know,
Erica has a database.
The theme song is nothing's better than that theme song.
My database is for Bonanza.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
He
has a database for Bonanza.
That's a
separate segment. Why do we have a database for Bonanza? That's next time on the show.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Anyhow.
All right. So, Ancient Aliens special presentation, Gone Without a Trace.
Okay.
Wow. Ancient Aliens. These are the really old aliens. We're not talking about the newbies, right?
So they're supposedly investigating missing person reports from across the world in various time periods. Looking for a link that connects these random events to greater theories.
Ooh.
What network is this on?
This was on the History Channel.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That actually is kind of interesting. All right, I'm writing these down as we go.
That's good because, we need to know what channel so that our listeners can try to catch them.
And it actually appears that my mother recorded the entire program.
Now, how often does that happen, Erica?
Probably about half the time.
Half the time.
But that's,
So wait a minute.
Go through, when we clean out the DVR, half the time we look at these bizarre recordings and they'll be like 17 minutes.
Oh, it's not the full. It's not the full show.
Oh
no.
Why is that? Why is it not the full show?
And she caught it halfway through and hit
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
why do you need the whole thing?
No, you just need a good
You
17
don't
minutes.
need a 2-hour movie when you can have an hour and 18 minutes of it.
You're saving
Right.
time and condensing. That's the way the world is.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
All right. What else?
Well, this one's actually one of my favorites.
Oh, God.
To Catch a Smuggler.
To Catch a Smuggler?
Yeah, this particular episode is Stash House Takedown. So, and
Called what?
Stash House Takedown.
Stash House Takedown.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it is that Homeland Security. Okay, so I'll read the description. Homeland Security investigates. I don't have my glasses on, so hold on.
She's using the force, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. Homeland Security investigations disrupt a transitional meeting. Oh no, I'm sorry, not a transition. A transactional meeting with U.S. Customs and Border Patrol while they seize a huge shipment of illegal shark fins.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh wait, okay, so they were describing. I didn't see the semicolon. Sorry, but yeah. So, and I've actually seen this episode. It was quite good.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, you can see them take down this guy who gets a shipment delivered to his house. And then the guy takes the shipment and tries to distribute amongst his dealers. So they get to take down the guy and a couple dealers.
So this is like this is almost like, it's
kind of
basically
like Cops.
I was going to say like Cops. Okay.
But
very
with
cool.
like, yeah, Border Patrol. And then the Border Patrol people, they seize people trying to ship over shark fins. Shark fins are used often in cooking, in soup. It's very illegal. So,
wow.
If anybody were to watch
To Catch a Smuggler.
To Catch a Smuggler, they'd know that. Yeah.
Where do I watch this on?
So this was on the National Geographic Channel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And if you're lucky, they have To Catch a Smuggler in not just the United States, but they also have it in Rome, in Peru, and Madrid.
Oh,
so
they're going to different areas.
Okay. There's different series that you can record. Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta love To Catch a Smuggler.
All right. You got one more that's extra bizarre.
Extra bizarre. Oh.
Well, how bizarre. How bizarre.
Right. Do we want to go political or not?
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay. So the Biden Chronicles.
The Biden Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have the opportunity to watch the full episode, or is that like 5 or 6 minutes?
This is not something I watch. No.
Okay.
No. So
interesting.
But
all right.
I believe actually the series is set to record. So the whole episode was recorded by my mother.
Oh.
And yeah.
I guess the question I have, do you have room on your DVR?
No.
Is there any space left, or do you have to delete stuff to record more?
This morning before Ted called to say, hey, we're going to do this segment, I had actually deleted a lot of recordings, but with all the things I did delete, we are currently up to 40 hours of recording available, which is 11% of our DVR.
11%. So 80% is taken up.
Wait a minute.
Now, well, I
only got 11% left. Well, 40 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Couple questions here.
Yeah.
Home Shopping Network recordings.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't categorize by channel.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure there are some.
You're recording the Home Shopping?
Well, no.
Wait a minute.
God. Wait a minute. Let me be clear. We aren't recording any of this stuff.
I mean the household.
Okay.
But between the two families. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I did also recently see when I was flipping over, because it records the DVR shows recordings by date, recordings by title, and then recording space yaddy. So when I was flipping over, it categorized by title. So it's in alphabetical order, numerical order. First at the list, 50 years of the AFI Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Oh.
But
boom.
I don't believe that the full thing was recorded.
Oh, dang it.
So, because there's only 48 minutes of it. And if you were to catch this whole episode or this whole show, you could find it on TCM.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I
Turner
have
Classic
one
Movies.
question. Do we have
Yeah.
any CBS Sports Spectacular recordings currently?
Not currently. There is not a CBS Spectacular recording, but the last one I saw, I believe, was on it was about the Dubai Indy racing in Dubai. I didn't know such a thing existed.
And you asked your mother about this?
No, you know what? I haven't.
Okay.
I should. It would
Okay.
be interesting.
So Ted, you're not recording this. Erica, you're not
No,
recording this.
No,
Okay.
not,
enough.
on. Honestly, if it's not hockey, I'm not recording it.
Spectacular.
Got it.
No, negative.
Why?
Before we let you go, Erica,
Yeah.
you mentioned you didn't have your glasses. You want to briefly?
So I walked closer to the TV so I could see our 70-inch TV.
Yeah, but can you describe your current glasses and what you refer to them as?
Well, you gave them the nickname.
Okay. What's the nickname, Erica?
They're my Roosevelt.
They're the what?
They're her Roosevelts. Do you want to know why they're her Roosevelts?
Oh, I need to know.
Well,
So when Teddy Roosevelt wore glasses, his glasses were only sat on the top of his nose.
Yes.
so she's
Right.
broken off the arms,
Both
yeah,
yeah.
sides of the glasses. So when she puts her glasses on, she just puts them on her nose, and that's how she wears them.
But I can't move my head too fast.
No.
Or they fall off.
Otherwise-
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hysterical.
So I have my Roosevelts, but I do have a couple of pairs of new glasses on order.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Disappointed when those come in.
Yeah. But the glasses I ordered are totally cool because it's a clear frame and then you can change. It has two little magnets on the front and you can change the front so you can change your style and look.
Oh, that is cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty neat. I like that.
I'm pretty excited and I can't wait for this to come. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
All right.
can you get any
Well,
other
thank you.
questions here?
No, I have to kind of take a step back and think about some of this stuff. Some of these shows actually seem pretty cool. I'm concerned about the DVR usage that you guys are doing. It could affect other people. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have to delete some of the kids' shows just because my mom has recorded other items.
There's a Harrison Ford movie on there.
I don't know. Okay, hold on.
There were actually two earlier this week. I don't know why we're recording movies, Ken. We have streaming services.
Yeah, what did I see on there?
That'd be Air Force One
and
Indiana Jones and the Temple of
yes.
Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a classic. I really love that movie.
But why are we recording those?
I'm sorry.
I said, why are we recording those?
My mom thought
I know
like
why.
I don't know.
I know.
You know what? You don't know when you're going to run into a situation where all your streaming services go down and you need to watch Indiana Jones. You hit the button watching. I don't think this needs to be talked about anymore. I know exactly what your mom is going through, Erica.
Yeah.
You got to have that movie and you want it now. Boom.
Right? And you don't want to have to remember your password to log in.
Right. You just have to hit a button into place.
Yeah.
Dad, you worry about yourself. Worry about your own viewing. Don't worry about everybody else's.
Yeah.
Erica?
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know what's on the DVR.
Sure. Have a great day, guys.
There we go.
Erica, you're awesome. You sound great. You should be on every week.
Oh my God. Oh, and I was wondering if she had captured Indiana Jones, the whole thing. And I think she actually did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
All right.
I love it.
All right.
Erica, thank you for your time.
I'm going to go finish watching my show.
Get your show done.
Well, I finally sit down to eat breakfast.
And then are you going to come here and exchange your car?
I should. The dealership called me and said they were giving it a once over safety inspection.
Okay.
So they were gonna let me know when the car's ready. But yeah,
Okay.
it was actually kind of my plan to do that.
Okay.
So
All right.
alrighty.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you.
Bye, Erica.
Bye,
Thanks.
John.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Well, Ted, I was out and about Northeast Ohio, spending my hard-earned money, and I went to these fine establishments in the past 2 weeks. The Brew Garden in Strongsville.
Love it.
Lovely time, good place. Planted Flag. Good to see old Mr. Words. He's got a new beer out. It is I'm not supposed to say this out loud, but I'll say it real softly. Blood Orange IPA.
Ooh.
It's pretty sweet.
Okay.
I went to Fatheads in Middleburg Heights, Burtonwood and the old stomping grounds of Rocky River, and then Panini's in Westlake. Took all those in. So had a great time all around the holidays, seeing some friends, hanging out with family. It was absolutely wonderful. I'll have more out and abouts for you in 2024 on location when my daughter is part of these competition dance teams. And I can give you a report from Pittsburgh, Mason, Ohio, Sandusky, and Canton, as well as Columbus.
Okay.
Can't wait to do that for you, as I'll need to be out and about to enjoy some of that. So,
well, I'm going to be out and about this coming weekend for a hockey tournament in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So
Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
You'll be celebrating the national championship, maybe.
But I have a single day out and about to tell you about.
Ooh.
We had lots of hockey on Saturday.
Okay.
We had a game for my middle son at 10:40 a.m. in Canton, Akron.
Okay.
Okay. Games are an hour, so now it's 11:40.
Where'd you play at? Kent State?
No, the Center Ice Arena Complex.
Oh, geez. Okay, that's nice.
So from there, my oldest son was with me because he had a game coming up. That game was at 2:45 in Fremont.
All right.
Go over to Fremont, play that game. Now it's 3:45. Head back. He's got a home game in Shaker at 6:30.
Oh, my.
Made it to all those.
Wow.
And then because I didn't see enough hockey, after his second game was the Shaker varsity game. So we stayed and watched that.
Did you PA that game?
I did not.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought you were going to tell me you had a PA announce as well.
No. I PA'd his Pee-wee game, his home game, but not the Shaker varsity.
How's your goal sound? How was that?
It's a.
Oh, you don't do it yourself? You don't?
No, don't do it myself.
You don't do that?
But I will tell you that we drove 250 miles. I saw a 4-4 tie. I saw a 7-zip loss and a 6-4 win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the 6-4 win was 3 miles from my house.
Nice. Well, everything else is a little bit farther. You took your losses a little farther out.
Yeah. Got to drive 2 hours each way to watch a 7-zip loss to the Fremont Ice Wolves, who play some sound effect that sounds like somebody stepping on a cat.
Yeah, I feel your pain on that. Ted, great out and about.
Overachievers now, a pair of French pizza chefs have broken, I say, broken the world record for making a pizza with the most variety of cheeses. Benoit Bruel and Fabien Montelanico.
I love it.
I'm glad
I love the way you're saying it. Sounds really good.
Made a pizza with 1,001 different types of cheese. Previous record was 834 cheeses on one pizza, set in 2001.
There's over 1,001 different types of cheeses?
Apparently.
Holy moly.
And I
That's
bet they
crazy.
didn't use, stinky cheese or foot cheese or whatever you call it.
You think they used American cheese? You think that even? I bet you there's no way these French pizza chefs are doing that.
Too good.
That's considered taboo.
Yeah.
American cheese. That's just, that's low level.
Well, that's an overachiever.
Time to talk some sports betting, and I could not think of a better person to do that with John Ryan from Predictive Playbook. And John, very interesting times for us right now when it comes to the end of the regular season for NFL. We come off the national championship for college football, and obviously we have a lot of other sports going on with college basketball and hockey, NBA, you name it. So busy time of year, is it not, John?
Oh, it's extraordinarily busy, Ken, and you know better than most how busy it can get. What a weekend we've had, and it was culminating with the national championship game last night. I think that was at least the sixth one that was kind of in blowout fashion out of the 10. But I'm already looking forward to next year with 12 teams and the committee not having to be stressing about narrowing it down to the final four. And then, of course, in the news, unfortunately, it's very sad that those members who volunteer their time, by the way, they don't get paid. There's 13 of them, and they all essentially have received death threats and bomb scares at their homes. That has to be removed from society, I think, overall. But that's a totally different show, Ken.
Yeah.
But I do think college football ended on a very, very positive note. And maybe even Jim Harbaugh cleaned up the rep a little bit with how he conducted himself after the game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's pretty impressive, man. What a season he's had. I mean, 15-0. I heard some crazy stats today. They didn't have many penalties. I think they averaged like one penalty a game. Something to that extent. I mean, just unbelievable season. I mean, you just got to have hats off. I don't care what area of the country you're in and who you root for. It's hard not to say, wow, hats off to Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines.
No question. And I'll tell you one thing to think about next year, and people listening might want to write this down, put it in your notebook for next August, is Penn State lost to Ohio State and Michigan by single digits. You know, that kind of hit me last night, that Penn State, I think, is a team that's actually closer to making a run at the national championship than I thought possible even just a week ago. That sophomore quarterback, Drew Allard, is a five-star recruit, and he's got 1 year under his belt now. He'll be a junior next year. And it could all come together for Happy Valley, quite possibly. And when the futures odds come out and you like my idea and nothing changes at Penn State that would alter that, then getting on board with a futures bet early would probably be a smart thing to do.
Yeah, that's probably a good call, John. We're big fans of Drew Aller. He's from Medina High School here in Northeast Ohio. So, yeah, yep. We're very big fans of him. And, it should be interesting with their offense. As you kind of bring this up, they got the offensive coordinator from Kansas who, boy, they'd like to sling it all over the field. So that should be very, very interesting with him. Well, John, taking a look, obviously, now as we move to the weekend, I cannot believe we finished the regular season in NFL football, by the way. It just, I'm kind of flabbergasted. It's one of those things. It's like, here we are in January, and now we're talking playoffs, but some very interesting matchups. Obviously, you've done very well when it comes to certainly taking a look at games and forecasting and giving us some great bets all throughout the year. What kind of tickles your fancy for some of those games? Anything you're looking at so far that maybe, people should maybe taking a look now as opposed to the end of the week?
Well, I'll tell you, it does seem like the season just started like last month. It has flown by, and we've had more ups and down swings than I can remember. We've had more lead changes in games this season than I can remember. Kansas City has the most games over the last 3 seasons, for example, where both they and their opponent had a 7 or more point lead in the game. It's unprecedented. But you know what? It's what the NFL has always wanted. And parity among these teams, which they started in the mid-90s, is creating these big swings where a team gets up 10-0, and you go get a hoagie, you come back, and lo and behold, it's 24-10. The other team scored 24 unanswered. And I think there's going to be more of the same in the playoffs. I know I humbly state this. I know on your show, it might have been 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I was trying to instill hope into the Cleveland fan base, especially in lieu of all the injuries they suffered early on. And lo and behold, they came through. And I think they're going to keep rolling. I think this is a very dangerous team. I think Cleveland fans have a lot to be proud of. They've overcome a mountain of problems, and they've overachieved the whole entire season. And they're going to be on the road at Houston as a favorite. And I can tell you this, favorites in the wild card round that are on the road do well against the spread and straight up. The Eagles are another one that fits that mold, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. But I do think Cleveland is favored correctly. I think it's probably a little bit cheap because Houston's been, I mean, what have they done? They've outperformed probably more than any other team in the whole entire NFL. But I think Cleveland has that special mix of what is it? Not karma, it's that moxie, that swag that is not arrogant. It's very, constructive, but they have that confidence that just exudes around them that actually can be intimidating to another team, especially one that is into the playoffs as kind of like a rookie in the Houston Texans. So I hope you're bullish on the Browns this week.
Oh yeah, for sure, John. No, there's no doubt. If I had a choice, I would have liked to play either Indianapolis or Jacksonville. I think Houston, they have the best quarterback. And as you know, the teams that win have good quarterback play. So, but the bonus for the Browns is that they do have a very good defense. And you talk about, you were talking about before of, finding ways to be positive about the team. And, they've had an influx of injuries and all that stuff. But I think the coordinator for defense and Jim Schwartz, I think he's been amazing. Yep. I really do. I think he's changed the whole culture of the team. And I think it's part of the big reason that they've been playing so well. So we'll see what happens. It's fun to watch, Saturday, 4:30, and we'll turn that on and see how that goes. But yeah, so your thoughts are is the Browns would be certainly a good bet for this week. That you certainly think that?
Yep. Cleveland is also 10-3 against the number in games played on a grass field this season, and that is an important stat. Not all fields are grass. The artificial turf may look like grass, but it's so well manufactured these days that a place like MetLife, which is very dangerous field for injuries, looks like it's a grass field, but it's not.
Yeah.
But that stands to reason too that Cleveland, with that defense, would play better on a slower track, so to speak, with grass versus the AstroTurf. And I do have a little system here, I believe, for the under, which I also like, mainly because of the Cleveland defense. And if you like this idea, then you might also like playing the under and the team total for the Texans, because I don't think they get over that total either. So you can pick or choose. You're betting pizza money here. So make sure it's not the end of the world, of course, when you make these bets. It should be pizza or maybe 2 pizzas or IPA or whatever it is that you like. But anyway, with the under, we're going to bet under with home teams with the totals between 42.5, 49 points. One of the teams being Houston in this case, covering the spread in 4 or 5 of their last 6 games. So they've been running hot. They've been scoring more than expectations to win these games and cover the spread. And they have a win percentage between 51 and 60% on the season, 70 and 30 since 1983. That comes out to about 70% winners over a very, very long stretch of time. So I think the under is probably the way to go.
Wow. Well, that's a very interesting bet, John. And, as I think about it and think about the game, and obviously, once again, you never promote or anything like that, a teaser, a parlay, but maybe if you want to take some pizza money and obviously do a teaser with the Browns and the under, that might not be a bad bet either. So that's great information, John. Now, one thing that we kind of talked about from some of the previous times you've been with us, once again, appreciate your time. Once again, we have John Ryan from
Anytime
Playbook. One thing that I think people need to get some more information on and more intel, and we, obviously I listen to different podcasts and hear a lot of different things on betting. The one thing that I heard that many people are taking advantage of, and you can actually do well if you know what you're doing, is doing live betting for NBA basketball games with totals. What is your thought process on that? What's a safe way to do that? If people at home are interested and they're watching a game, be it the Cavs or whoever they're watching, and they want to put some money down, what's your intel to them to do it safely, but also maybe a little bit of an advantage of what they should do if they wanted to have a chance of maybe doing a little bit more winning as opposed to losing?
Well, I think it's a great question. And I do think the live betting is going to evolve. People are going to stop using it to hedge an initial bet and have a strategy for using the live bet for the same team that they liked before the game started. And that's one of the big mistakes that people make, especially in the NFL. You pick, let's say we picked Cleveland to win, covering spread of 2.5 points against Houston this week. What's to say that Houston doesn't start out 10-0?
Yeah.
Are you going to then bet Houston and hedge your bet that you think was a poor bet just because it's 10-0? Of course not. But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most common mistake I've seen with new bettors is they get too caught up in the moment too early on. And truthfully, I don't watch many games, at least not live. I'll get the condensed versions, and then they have the coaches film on Next Gen Stats, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can watch a game in 15 minutes on Monday morning. So Sundays are usually my regroup day, so to speak, after talking about this for 6 days in a row. But nevertheless, with the NBA, one of the most common ones I like doing, and I've actually started running some Python apps to adjust this. Originally, 5 years ago, whenever live in-game betting really started to go, I played around with scoring runs. So if an NBA team scored 10 unanswered points and that was your opponent, the opponent to the team that you bet on, well, then that's a great opportunity to get a live in-game bet. One, there's usually a timeout, and they go to a commercial break, which gives you ample time to get the bet done. And
Sure.
you're not having to worry about it changing like every 2 seconds because, the action is so fast. And if you do that consistently over the course of the season, it will add money to the bottom line. Doesn't always work. Sometimes teams just, they get down 12 points and they get blown out. And there's nothing you can do about that. But, I mean, think about it. If you're looking at Apple computer stock, even now, it was a high of like 195 just not too long ago. Now it's around 180. And you put half of your allocated money for that particular stock already in play. Wouldn't you want to put some more into play at 180, knowing
Yes.
that Apple is that good?
Yes.
It's the same strategy.
Yeah.
And it's not dollar cost averaging either, which is a term I hate, Ken. Dollar cost averaging when a back in the day when they did have stockbrokers, whenever that was uttered, it would just give me the chills because it's the most ridiculous thing I can ever think of. Why in the world would you take good money and throw it on top of bad money? I never understood that concept. I get it, like strategically. Yeah, okay, you're lowering your cost. Okay, well, what if the stock is ultimately going to go down to zero? Then it's not very good.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the NBA. There's going to be games where an opponent's going to get out ahead of you, and you're going to be losing against the spread. You're going to do these live in-game, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Kind of like the Eagles playing the Giants this past week. So it just kind of crept into my head there because I almost did pull the trigger at 24-0, thinking that, okay, well, if I'm getting 23.5, I mean, the Eagles should outscore them in the second half. Glad I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But those things happen. But more than likely what's going to happen is these big runs are then answered by another run. So what I recommend, if you're interested in doing this, for the people listening, is paper trade it. Don't even bet pizza money on it. Watch a game, watch your favorite team, and write down how many times there's a 10 or more point run by a team. And then write down what the betting lines were after those runs. And I'm willing to bet that in most games, 60% of them at least, you're going to be able to create a middle betting on both teams if you bet after those runs have been made.
Yeah.
So the team rips off 12 in a row, and then all of a sudden the other team scores. That's the end of the run. Check the live line, pretend that you bet it, and then keep track of it and see how it goes. And that's what people should do too, is paper trade it. You don't have to put real money in it to learn some valuable lessons. I mean, the biggest lesson maker in the world, Ken, that I know of is losing money.
Yeah.
That wakes you up. Trading up in New York when I used to be a chief currency strategist, there was no greater lesson teacher than having your face ripped off by the market when you thought it was going to do something else. So I think that's an important thing. And what else could I say for live strategy that you would want to hear?
Well, the other thing is, John, and this is great information, by the way. So obviously, hopefully listeners, take this to heart. Paper trading is a wonderful thing to do if you don't necessarily feel comfortable, doing money. You just put it on paper and kind of get yourself confident enough that you place your bets. Now, John, everything you're talking about with live betting, would you recommend only doing this in the first half?
Absolutely. And you get copies of my research, so you see it from time to time. It's just basically a strategy. Number one, with live in-game betting, my number one mantra I think that everyone must have to be successful is you have to have a plan before the game starts. You can't get in there and think, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to take the other team now, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to, because you're going to get all mixed up in the head, and nobody can predict these flows. These flows come out of nowhere. A team might look like it's going to get absolutely destroyed, and all of a sudden things level out, the momentum starts to change, and then lo and behold, that team actually scores some points, and you have a ball game. So you have to have the plan in place. So what I usually do is, let's say with the Cleveland game this week, if you're a $100 bettor, put $50 pre-flop now at -2.5. Now, this is going to sound counterintuitive, but when the game starts, you're going to want Houston to score first. Ultimately, these playoff games, nobody rarely gets shut out in a playoff game. I mean, Iowa didn't score any points in a bowl game, which is extraordinarily rare.
They didn't score many points for 2 straight games, John. They didn't score any points in the Big Ten championship either. I had the opportunity to attend that. They didn't do anything. So
and that's consistency, I guess. I don't know what else it is, but so you have the $50 bet pre-flop already booked. So what you do then is you hope that Houston scores and scores a touchdown. Field goal doesn't do much to the line in the first quarter. But if the opponent scores the touchdown first, then that gives you the chance to get the live in-game bet at a very juicy number.
Yeah.
And let's say our team scores first. Let's say Cleveland goes 3-0, and then 10-0, and then let's say Houston comes back with back-to-back touchdowns. They score the second touchdown with 3 minutes to go in the half and retake the lead. There's another opportunity to jump on Cleveland.
Yep.
So it's either one or the other, or you do both of those. So 50%, then do 25% if Houston scores the touchdown first. If they don't, then you look for Houston to retake the lead, at which point you put the other 50% on at what the market is pricing Cleveland at.
Great information, John. Boy, that is the strategy I'm going to take advantage of. I'll tell you that right now for the Browns game, because I know many people here in Cleveland will be tuning that on. So, John, as we kind of wrap up a little bit, I'm certainly going to give you an opportunity to promote what you have going, things like that. But you talked about the Cleveland game. Any other games that maybe somebody should take a look at for this week? You did mention the Eagles. Is that a game we should take a look at, or is there any others that you feel as though, wow, this is a game we should put some money on?
It is. The Eagles game is really intriguing. I saw the line open, and it opened while the Giants were blowing them out. Which caught my attention, and Circa opened them up at -1.5 favorite. It immediately saw money, and some big bets were made right out of the chute, and now we're sitting at 3.
Yeah.
So why in the world would a team like Philly, losers of 5 of the last 6, and granted they were 10-1, but that was light years from ago. That was just ancient history. The defense is playing so bad that it reminds me of the Washington Commanders. And I know that's an insult to the Commanders, but that defense hasn't been very good.
Right.
And Philly can't stop you and I right now. And I was like, whoa. Like when they were 10-1, this game would have been 9.5. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Even before the Giants game, it probably would have been, I was thinking maybe 6, assuming that the Eagles would have shown up and played and won and showed something, but it got worse.
Yeah.
So now I do think the market is telling you that Philly is the correct bet here. It takes an awful lot of guts to stand in front of the awful momentum that they have plummeting down on their fan base, but they are not playing in Philly, which is good for them. The fans can be really, really great in Philly. They can be really, really negative. And I'm afraid that in Philly, this game would have started out with booing as soon as they punted the ball and all kinds of nonsense. Going on the road for a team like this is probably the best thing that could have happened. And Tampa Bay that's a great story, no doubt about it. But I think Philly is actually the better team. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, the news that night stating that, can you believe the Philadelphia Eagles? My goodness gracious, they're back. But then they have to play either San Fran or Dallas. So we'll see if they're back after this one. But I do think they're the right pick.
That's outstanding. Your thoughts, just take the spread on that one, John, or money line. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say do the same thing as that live in-game strategy too, because we don't know how the Eagles defense is going to be. Tampa Bay could get up 10-0, and then you have that that opportunity.
Yep. Great information. John, appreciate the time. Tell us what you got going at predictiveplaybook.com. Any, I know you've been running some specials, things like that. What special things can people see on the site?
Well, I'll give out this for the week, for the playoff wildcard week. If you send me a direct message on Twitter at John Ryan Sports 1 or to my email, johnryansports@gmail.com, I'll give you the wildcard playoff premium picks for free. You get a test drive, you get to see the research. And what I'm proud of, Ken, is that I just don't give out the pick. I love illustrating why we're making this decision to put pizza money or $100 or $500 on this game. And I think that's where people do like the service and why I've been doing this for 29 years.
Yep, absolutely. And John, I loved last night with all the hockey picks you had. Wow, did those turn out nice? That was great. Great.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot better than Washington.
Oh, well, sure. But I mean, I did my own research, and I think that's what everybody does, and that should be a thing as well. John does the research, but you got to do your own research as well. You're the one that's placing the bet, so do some research. I had some money on Washington before you even sent your stuff out, and it kind of doubled back for what I was trying to do. But just the way that game started, I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? Just the whole thing. But I still, once again, sometimes you do lose bets, but I do think the Washington bet was a good bet, if that makes sense to you. I do.
Yeah,
I think that was the right way to go. So, but those things happen. Once again, John, obviously you talked about Twitter. Any other places people could find you and look at some of your videos and things like that?
Sure. On YouTube, we have the Predictive Playbook TV channel. I write for rotowire.com, so you can easily find me there. Just easy search on their website. And also the predictiveplaybook.com, which is my home site. So pick any of them and feel free to ask any question you want.
Outstanding. Well, John, thanks for your picks. Once again, you're looking at the Browns and the under, and then also the Eagles as well as they take on the Buccaneers on Monday night. John, as always, thank you. If you would give me the pleasure, if you can close us out with your great saying, I greatly appreciate that.
Well, here we go. And this is important. It's not meant to be funny, but always bet with your head, never over it, and may all the wins be yours.
The most trusted name in journalism. Klopp's Clips.
All right, Ken, here we go. An Alabama man made some unique moves at a Bass Pro Shop. The unidentified 42-year-old crashed his car outside the store. Then he stripped naked. He ran inside and did a cannonball into the store's aquarium.
Oh, man.
He stood under a waterfall, swam around for about 5 minutes, and eventually got out of the aquarium where he was arrested.
I unfortunately saw the video for that, and that's I have to bleach my eyes. I'm going to leave it at that.
Public lewdness, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief among the charges. I don't hear anything about public drunkenness.
I don't think he was drunk. Yeah.
We planned that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, a Kentucky family picked out a live Christmas tree last month, as is their tradition. The family had the tree in their house for 4 days when a carpet cleaner working in the living room noticed something moving on a lower limb. The movement was caused by a baby owl.
Oh, gosh.
It climbed up further in the tree, and after some searching, the carpet cleaner was able to get the owl out and release it in the family's backyard.
That's like Total Christmas Vacation is what that is. That's what it seems like.
Pretty much.
They're probably on America's Funniest Home Videos now, is my guess.
Man in Georgia trying to open a bag of chips. He apparently failed with the normal open the top method that we're all familiar with. So he decided to grab a lighter to help open the chips.
Makes sense to me.
Sure.
Light it up.
I don't know how that would help, but okay. A 75-year-old man wound up setting himself on fire. Chips apparently are flammable because they have oil on them.
Yes, they do.
Some severe burns.
Oh, my God.
How about
No
that?
knife. We want flame.
A Florida man is suing Dunkin' Donuts for $100,000 He says he suffered bodily injury and has needed mental health treatment after a toilet apparently exploded in the store's men's room in January of 2022. Paul Kerouac says he is dealing with severe and long-term injuries after the explosion left him covered in feces, urine, and debris. Says he came out of the men's room looking for help from a worker. An employee supposedly told him that they were, quote, aware of the problem with the toilet since there'd been previous incidents.
Yeah, he might win. He's got a shot since this is not the first time.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they didn't do anything about the exploding toilet.
Yeah.
Poor guy's got PTSD. Actually, you know what? I think I would too.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. That's rough.
Sports, some scores, 31-21, 14-13, 29-17, and 24-7. I'm Ted Klopp. That's news to me.
Oh no, not a dad joke.
Ted, a $5 bill got kicked out of a bar.
Why?
The bartender said it was a singles bar.
That joke was horrible.
We're wrapping up episode number 128 of Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland.
Ted, great show. Special thanks to your wife, Erica Klopp. She was outstanding, by the way. I love it. This might be the new segment every couple weeks. What's on your DVR? Maybe we can have her on to talk about some other topics as well.
What's on the DVR?
We could break down some rawhide, some bonanza. I like that.
We can ever go to the spreadsheet.
I need to talk about that at some point in time.
Do you know of anybody else that has a spreadsheet that has anything to do with bonanza?
I do not.
Neither do I.
I do not. Special thanks to John Ryan, not to be confused with John Krasinski. That is not the same person. He is not on the show. He's not on John Ryan. He's a good friend and a very good sports bettor. So appreciate his insight, and make sure you follow him on the predictiveplaybook.com. Ted, anything exciting coming up in the next couple days for you in the next week? Well, and we already know that includes ice hockey.
Yeah, we have this tournament that we'll be going to in Michigan. We're going to try to get, so each team has 3 games.
Okay.
Over the course of Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
The teams, you're either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And then the finals are Sunday or Monday. We're going to try to get 3 kids to games for 4 different teams.
Oh my. Okay.
So.
Oh boy.
This is going to be interesting logistics, and we'll
all in Ann Arbor. All in Ann Arbor.
Within a 40-minute ride. Okay. Yes.
Ann Arbor is cool. Have you had this tournament there before?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of places to go and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Big fan. Got that. I do have a quick story. My middle son was waking up last week, and he woke up and he said, "Wow, I had a really weird dream." And I said, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I want to hear about it." He said, "No, I don't want to talk about it." I said, No. You got to tell me. I want to hear about it." And he said, "Well, the dream involved a kidnapping. There was a kidnapping in my dream." Okay. And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, there was a kidnapping at school too." And he said, "Wait, there was a kidnapping at school?" And I said, "Yeah, but they woke him up." And
you got to throw in the dad joke. I love it. That's very well done.
And he sleeps in the top bunk. He looked at me. He fell over in the bunk. I raised my arm and walked out of the room as he hollered, "No!" So, yeah, I was pretty proud of that. Pretty proud of that.
You should be, my friend. That's very well done.
Yes. Thank you.
Outstanding. Well, thank you to our, once again, our guest, and thanks for our audience listening. And once again, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be on a more regular schedule because both Ted and I had a few other things going on around the holidays. And as you know, a few things take precedent over this.
That's right. We're on our Metamucil now, so we should be more regular.
Oh, gosh. Well, with that, we'll leave that. And just remember, we're just two middle-aged men in Cleveland.
Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland is sponsored by Westminster AV, custom audio-visual packages for all occasions.